friends, my name's Naomi. Welcome back to my channel. So today I just wanted to chat through some of my recent favorite reads. So far this year I've read about 60-ish books, and of course there are some favorites in there. So I just wanted to talk about some recent favorites, so like for the past like 2 months-ish. Some of them I own, some of them I only listen to in audiobooks form, so I'll let you know about all of that. But yeah, I have about 8 books that I want to share that have become recent favorites. And yeah, first off, I'm gonna start with a romance, which is very surprising, and this sun just ruined my whole mood. I guess I'll lean this way. But first off, I wanted to start with Hello Stranger by Katherine Center. This is a romance. Katherine Center wrote The Bodyguard, and I adored that romance novel. So Hello Stranger follows the story of this woman who is a portrait artist, and she is grieving the death of her mother. And one day she actually just like passes out. I believe it's like in the middle of the street or something, and she goes to the hospital, and they're basically telling her like she needs to get this surgery, this procedure. So she goes to the hospital and she gets it done, and once she gets it done, she becomes face blind, and she has just entered into this contest where she has to do a portrait. So that's kind of not working out for her, and of course while all of that is happening, she is falling in love with someone whose face she can't recognize. It was a really beautiful novel. I got an ARC also from NetGalley for this, and I flew through it. It is so good. Like I said, she is dealing with the grief of her mother. She has really strange and complex family dynamics, so really enjoyed that as well. And then the romance is also amazing. So yeah, that is Hello Stranger by Katherine Center. This comes out in July, so go pick it up. And I'm actually meeting Miss Katherine Center in July as well. I believe this book comes out in July. I'll put in the screen down here the date that this book comes out. But yeah, I loved it, and it was a 5 out of 5, so yeah. The next book that I have is White Smoke by, oh, this lighting is horrible. White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. I read this during Mental Health Awareness Month because I found out that this book has anxiety and OCD representation, and it was incredible. Like the OCD representation in this book, like I've never felt more seen in my life. And I really liked it. So this one is kind of a mix of like Haunting of Hill House and like Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. It's very like on the line of whether or not this is like a real life thing or paranormal, and it's kind of like playing with that line. And basically we follow Marigold, and they just moved into a new town because her mom has like this residency, I guess, that she's getting paid for, and they have to stay in this house, and the house is really creepy. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, there is OCD representation in this book. Our main character also suffers from anxiety, and yeah, again, I loved it. So all of these are 5 out of 5, and this one was as well. Alrighty, the next book that I have is The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. This book definitely took me by surprise. I was not expecting to like it like as much as I did. I honestly thought this was just going to be like another mystery thriller that was like okay, and then I would forget about for like after a little bit. But this one, like I said, really took me by surprise. This was my first Sally Hepworth. Again, 5 out of 5. It's a mystery thriller, and from what I remember, this is set in Australia or New Zealand, one of those, but it is definitely set somewhere that is not the United States of America. It is kind of like a domestic thriller, and basically follows this couple. They're married, they have kids, and they move to this beautiful house, but it's like set on a cliff. So basically this cliff is famous for people to go there and end their lives. So the husband goes out like almost every night to kind of talk people off the ledge, and then one day he goes out to talk someone off the ledge and he is not successful, and then there are all these secrets and twists and turns, and I really liked it. I did not expect the way that where it was going. And yeah, I really loved it. and it was a lot of fun. Alrighty, the next couple are paranormal, which is so surprising for me, but the next one I have is Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison. If you're new around here and you don't know me, I adore Rachel Harrison. She is my favorite, one of my favorite authors. She writes all horror, and I've read every book by her except for The Return, and I'm currently reading her upcoming novel Black Sheep. I got an ARC and I was so happy. But one of her most famous books is called Cackle, and that one is a witchy novel, and then Such Sharp Teeth is a werewolf paranormal story. Rachel Harrison's main characters, they're all female, and they are so good. They're funny and just like really complex women, and I'm like, this is who I want to be when I grow up. So yeah, I adored this book. It was so good. Just read it. If you like werewolves, just read it. Alrighty, like I said, I have another paranormal book, and that is In Nightfall by Suzzane Young. And again, this was another book that took me by surprise. This one is vampires, so if you're into vampires, go and read this. But this one follows Theo and Marco, and they're brother and sister, and they're moving into this new town called Nightfall, Oregon. And there are like all of these rules in Nightfall, like you have to be home by a certain time. There are places that you can go, places that you can't go, and Theo and Marco kind of don't know why, and then they start finding out. But yeah, it was really good. Like I said, it's vampires, so I feel like I can't say too much without giving a lot away, but I really enjoyed it. This cover is stunning, and yeah, it was really fun. The last two on this list, one of them I listened to an audiobook, and the other one I borrowed from the library. So the first one that I have is Stone Cold Fox by Rachel Marie Croft, I believe was her name. I'll put the picture of the book on the screen so that you can see it. But this one for me, I adored. If you've ever seen the TV show from ABC called Revenge, this is the book. So this one follows, I already forgot her name. I gotta look it up, hold on. Alright, so I looked it up, and the author is Rachel Koller Croft, and our main character, her name is B, and I guess this is kind of thriller fiction-y. So basically B has been kind of groomed in a way her whole life to marry rich. Like that has been her goal, and like she's obviously like not really in love with this man, but just because he has money, she kind of like eases her way into this really rich family just to be like in a rich family. So basically she's just trying to marry this guy and get this guy to fall in love with her, and it's really fun because you're rooting for her, but you know that she's doing something bad. Like she's basically conning this guy. But I really liked it. The mother-daughter dynamic in this book, incredible. But yeah, I really like this one, and yeah, you should definitely read it. And the last book that I have is a quite horror classic. I'm like on a horror paranormal kick recently, I guess. Sorry, I just got a text. But that is You by Caroline Kepnes. I started reading the series. I've read the first 2 books, but I just wanted to mention the first one. I'm sure that a lot of people know about You now because it has the Netflix TV show. It's the Joe Goldberg series, and basically our main character is a psychotic stalker, and he becomes obsessed with women. So the first one, he becomes obsessed with Guinevere Beck. I rewatched the first season after reading the first book, and then second season after reading the second book. The show does go a different route from the books, but I am really enjoying it, and it's a fun series, and it's definitely, I feel like, crazier in the books than it is in the TV show. But yeah, it's really dark, and of course the books are in Joe Goldberg's point of view, so they're really creepy. Alrighty, so those were all the 8 books that I've read recently that I really loved. Hope you enjoyed and that you got some kind of recommendation, something new to try. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye!